Your Denver Broncos are welcoming in the Los Angeles Chargers in the hopes of getting the number one seed in all of the AFC. Big game, big game. Bo leave. I'm here to give you guys a pre-game podcast. Let's get it started right about now. Oh boy. Whew. Welcome to the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast. My name is Keith Brugman. We're brought to you by Rocky Mountain Sports Network. We have an amazing sponsor, Morgan Trinkets, and today is a day, honestly, I don't think most of us thought was even possible when we started off this season. Playing for the number one seed in the AFC here in Week 18 as we welcome the Los Angeles Chargers in what should be an absolute madhouse of what is Mile High Stadium. I'm running solo today. That being said, man, getting prepped for the game. Hope my good co-hosts are settled in and getting ready for these games. I know I'm ready. The Broncos seem like they're ready as well. I want to get your thoughts on this matchup, but watching all the pressers throughout the week, this team is dialed in. This team is absolutely ready for this moment and the moments to come in the weeks to come. I truly believe that this team is going to go out there and they want to go out there and be dominant in what they do today. The Chargers, obviously, we heard very early, are not going to be playing Justin Herbert, their starting quarterback. Instead, we're going to be getting a Trey Lance, which will pose his own difficulties upon this defense. We'll get into that matchup here in a little bit. But inactives aside, like I said, I think this Denver Broncos team is absolutely ready to take it to the next level, and I think you've seen it all season, but you'll see that next playoff level ready today. I think that you'll start to see that play out on the football field today, and I'm excited for what I think Broncos country is about ready to see. That being said, inactives, I'll hit the Chargers first. Obviously, Justin Herbert been dealing with a non-throwing hand for quite a few weeks now, and he's going to be sitting on the sidelines, trying to get that mended and trying to get that healed. Amarian Hampton is also another big one that's on there. Their running back that they took in the first round of the NFL draft. You know, he gets his opportunity to lead the Chargers because of injuries. He ends up getting injured as well. He worked his way back, but he is sitting out this game. Derwin James, another big one that's going to be out there. Jeremy Sailor, offensive lineman, and Bradley Bozeman, center, are another couple of big ones. Also, their linebacker, and I'm going to absolutely ruin this name, Tuli Pulotu. I'm sorry if Tuli. Anyway, Tui out there at linebacker. My bad. I should have looked up the pronunciation of that name before getting on the screen. But like I said, Chargers are going to be down several players. But that being said, I don't think that even would matter in this particular situation. I think the Broncos are primed and ready to go for this game. Now, on the other side of things, Denver Broncos are going to have a few players out. The one that we all, I think, thought of was inside linebacker Dre Greenlaw. He's going to be out for this game. Q Robinson out for this game. Thought that was a little bit interesting. Also, the biggest one on this one to note of is John Franklin Myers. John Franklin Myers did end up having fewer snaps, and in the last game, end up having an injury of some sort, and they're going to go ahead and sit him and allow him to rest for this game and get ready for the playoffs. And we want John Franklin Myers back. But what should we see? What should we see when it comes to the Denver Broncos, this Chargers game? First off, like I said, I think it's going to be absolutely pandemonium. It's going to be manic in that stadium. I think the Denver Broncos fans know and have heard from Sean Payton how loud he wants them for this game and throughout the playoffs. Let's face it, right now, we're out there trying to get the number 1 seed. We get that number 1 seed, we never leave home until we head off to the Super Bowl. So that is that's key. The Denver Broncos fans, Broncos country, they're at Mile High, as Sean Payton has said, have ramped it up again and again and again. It's game after game after game. Bo Nix said, said it himself, multiple games now where he feels like this crowd has gotten more and more into it, and getting into it meant going out there and wreaking havoc on the defenders, the opposing team, as they're trying to get into the huddle, break the huddle, be at that line of scrimmage. First and foremost, what an electric atmosphere, as Bo Nix even alluded to. This is a playoff game, even though it's not a playoff game. I expect a playoff-like atmosphere. It'll be interesting. We're going up against one of the top defenses in the league, but we also see that this defense has got a few players out. Derwin James is a big key piece for them. But that's not to snub our noses at this defense. They've been a top defense all year, but the Denver Broncos have been showing something in recent weeks that I think we all love to see, and that's a running game that's coming around. Whether it be RJ Harvey, whether it be Jaleel McLaughlin, this Denver Broncos team is starting to feel it a little bit more each week as the weeks have went on, especially the last couple of weeks. I think we need to see more of this running back. I don't care, committee or running back commitment by Sean Payton is probably the more important thing. The running game in the playoffs has got to be key, and we see it. It's setting up more for Bo Nix at the same time. The almost had to put $1 in the San Diego Charger jar, but I held it back. The Los Angeles Chargers know how to play the Denver Broncos. As Sean Payton alluded to, he doesn't think we played our best game or coached our best game the last 3 games. I think there's a ton of motivation for Sean Payton and this offense to go out there and get things moving quickly against this Chargers team. But I think it's going to be done a lot on the ground. I think that I think, as Sean alluded to, there's a plan in place for Jaleel McLaughlin. We love what we saw from him last week. At least I did. Great gains downhill, ran with authority. As he says, he runs larger than he actually is. Jaleel McLaughlin should be an absolute key piece to this. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to maybe welcome in one of my friends here in just a second. It looks like Kenny Kirkpatrick may be ready to join me as well. So as I kind of meander through this in the background and talk about your Denver Broncos team, by all means, feel free to jump in with any of your thoughts. But this Chargers team is going to go out there. They're going to try to stop that run game that the Denver Broncos have put together over the last couple of weeks. But it will be interesting to see what's going to be key for them, whether it's going to be keying up more on Bo Nix or whether it's going to be keying up on this running game, because I think we're starting to become a little bit more multifaceted and seeing a Denver Broncos team that is a little bit more balanced as we're heading into this postseason run. It's going to be necessary for this Denver Broncos team to continue to level up that running game. I don't want to also maybe take a back seat in the minds for the passing game at the same time. I don't want to take my eye off that prize. There are things that we need to continue to do in the passing game. I think we can all agree that we would love to see Marvin Mims continue to get more involved. We would love to see Evan Ingram come into the picture a little bit more. Troy Franklin has fallen off a little bit, and Broncos fans, you'll be happy to know that, well, Pat Bryant is now on his way back as he's all ready to go hit the field this game. Pat Bryant back, I think, is a big key thing. How much they utilize him, how long he's in there, that will be the most interesting, one of the more interesting storylines to sit there and to watch and to see play out. But that being said, I do have a co-host, and he is here. He is Mr. Kenny Kirkpatrick. He is the stepfather, and I'm glad that he's okay because, hey, he's here. Mr. Kenny Kirkpatrick, welcome in, my friend. Probably too wrapped up in a Giants game. That would be my guess.
I wish that was the case, Keith. Unfortunately, I work overnights, got home late from work, and did the old set the alarm to the AM instead of the PM. and overslept. And it's the first time I overslept in a long time, and almost missed the Bronco pregame show. And but glad I'm here, Keith. Glad I was able to make it with you. And thank you for sending me the link. And hello, everybody. Got a happy New Year, by the way. And last but not least, we got a Bronco game today, Keith. I don't know what you got to, but I'm ready to co-host this with you and ready to go.
Yeah, we'll rock for a little bit longer here, talk with the posse, and get into this game a little bit more. I wanted to say hello to Pearl. She saw me first and said hello, Keith, and then Kenny popped on the screen. So hello to you too, Kenny.
Hi, Miss Pearl. Thank you, Miss Pearl. Happy New Year to you as well, and hope all is well your way. And here's to 2026.
Yes, let's make it a fantastic 2026. The Denver Broncos are looking to start off the year 2026 in the right way, as like I said, they're out here, they're fighting for the AFC number 1 seed today. Didn't get any help from the Jaguars last time I looked. They were up 31-7, so we can put that one out of the picture right there. We just need to go out there and win, Kenny. I went through some of the injuries. Obviously there are some inactives. John Franklin Myers is going to be inactive for this game for the Denver Broncos. He came up a little bit injured in this last game. They're going to go ahead and save him. Dre Greenlaw, he's being saved, but we do see a return of a Pat Bryant. On the other side, Justin Herbert, Amarian Hampton, Derwin James, their center Bozeman, their guards Saylor. They have multiple players out in this game. I was kind of talking and going, as I was kind of meandering and talking about the Broncos doing a solo show for the first time in a long time, just talking about how I don't think that would have mattered. I think that the Denver Broncos are going to come out dominant. I feel that they're locked in, and I can't wait to see what they're about ready to put on the table today. I'll get to a couple of comments. Maybe we'll start off there.
Sure.
Miss Pearl's coming in. She says, "Key, what is the story that's about
she's talking about the Giants and
the Giants?
He's going to get an interview.
DJ.
We can maybe talk about that a little more on our Giants show. I do, but this is about the Broncos today.
Yeah,
we're going to VJ's going to get a look. He's got an opportunity. And these playoffs are going to mean a lot for his head coach search for his future head coach job if he does become a head coach again. Playoffs are going to mean a lot.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true.
I just want to say one thing, Keith, really quick. Hats off to Pat. Great to see Pat Bryant back after that scare a couple weeks ago. Nobody thought he would have been back I didn't think he'd be back until maybe next year, and that was a serious. When that injury happened, man, it anybody who's played a sport, man, you felt for this kid, and for him to be back just a couple weeks after that huge scare says a lot. And great to see him back, and prayers were answered.
Yes, absolutely, man. My prayers were answered too, Kenny, because I was on here rocking and I didn't have anybody coming in to see me. And then all of a sudden, Kenny joins in. Everybody's showing up. Like Peter Johnson says, "Good morning from my part of the world, Keith, and everyone. Even though the Chargers are resting players, the Broncos really need to go out there and make an example of these backups. Let's go get that number 1 seed." Love it, Peter. Love it. Let's go get that number 1 seed is right. I think the Broncos are locked in. That's where their mindset's at. There ain't no resting players for the Denver Broncos. I think if JFM was ready to go, he'd be out there as well. Pearl says, "I do not trust Harbaugh. He's got something up his sleeve." I can tell you, one of the things that concerns me probably the most about this matchup, even though it's backups and the whole nine, is Trey Lance. The Denver Broncos haven't necessarily done all that well against mobile quarterbacks. And I'll be honest, it's been a while since I've been going, "Oh boy, Nick Bonito, look at him just going off today. Oh, Jonathan Cooper, what a day by Jonathan Cooper." I even digress all the way down to Zach Allen. It's been a while since I've felt like I've even had a Zach Allen day. I don't know if this necessarily plays in the favor of the Denver Broncos, having Trey Lance out there, but boy, would I like to see a couple of those guys on track, getting their names called in this particular game.
I will tell you this, Keith. The backups for the Chargers, they're going to play hard. Remember a few years ago, Mr. Trey Lance was a pick by the San Francisco 49ers. He got hurt in the preseason. Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, comes in and never looks back. Trey Lance never had that opportunity again. Don't sleep on Trey Lance. Go out there and play like these are starters, the Broncos, because the Broncos need to play this game like they are starters on the other side, because Trey Lance is going to want to play for his future. And look at Sam Darnold, how he changed his career. All it takes is one game. Don't let that be the game today, Broncos. Let him get another chance down the line. Do not sleep on Trey Lance, because he's going to be playing for a future contract. If he balls out today, be careful. Don't sleep on Trey Lance. Like you said, he's mobile, but exploit that weak offensive line. It's been weak all year. Slater's been out. Alt's been hurt. Go get that pass rush. Go get those 5+ sacks today. Make Trey Lance uncomfortable and make him make mistakes.
Another one that I don't want to see go off, I guess, either is Kamani Vidal. Or Vidal. Yep. Right now, Amari Hampton is out, but I'll tell you what, he's looked good in stints for the Chargers. He's a powerful running back. He's a guy that likes to get downhill with a little bit of attitude. And he's another guy that, like you said, a guy that wants to go out there, prove it a little bit, show he's worth it, especially in a running back room that includes Amari Hampton. He wants to be that, at least that number 2 on this team, maybe a number 1 on another team. So, yeah, there's going to be guys out there that are going to be, out there and, playing for everything they've got. All of a sudden, I'm like blanking on the wide receiver's name for the Chargers. Older gentleman. Oh my goodness.
Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen, thank you. I'm waking up Kenny and making him think on the spot. Oh boy. Keenan Allen has some incentives also in his contract. Thank you, Martin. Martin's coming in here trying to help us as well. Yes, Keenan Allen coming in to this game with some contracts incentives on the line. So there's some reason, another player to kind of watch in this mix of the Chargers that could try to pose problems for this Denver Broncos defense. Keenan Allen's another one that you need to be aware of.
Absolutely. And can have the fountain of youth there, but like definitely what Vidal and Trey Lance and Keenan Allen. They got players out there, even though you're saying there's some backups. There's players out there, so do not sleep, Broncos. You got the home field advantage today. Crowd, get into it early, and have that week off next week, and let the playoffs run through Denver. Let's go.
Absolutely. Kenny, on the offensive side of things, like you said, Pat Bryant back, fantastic. I don't know how much we're going to see from him. I'm sure they want to get him out there, get his feet wet, maybe get a catch or two under his belt if it's at all possible. I don't know if we see an extended amount of Pat Bryant, but there are other players that we'd like to see get going as well. I was just going off right before you came on to talking about RJ Harvey and Jaleel McLaughlin, how those guys have kind of risen up over the last couple of weeks and kind of proven a running game. But I would still like to see some targets out to like an Evan Ingram, for instance, or Marvin Mims, who got a little bit more involved last week because of the Pat Bryant injury. But Troy Franklin's kind of even fallen off a little bit as of lately. Where do you think this game goes? Do you think it can be both a running game and a passing game? And in the passing game, how do you feel it plays out if it was to play out towards one particular receiver? And I got one more after you get done answering that one.
Well, I hate to say this, and this is not being a Debbie Downer, but the way the Broncos played all year, I could see this being a close game. And I just see them not showing much at it. Sean Payton's going to have the huge playbook, but there's only going to be about 10 plays he uses today. So he doesn't have to use it in the playoffs unless he has to in the fourth quarter. You're going to see a very vanilla type of offense, and maybe people getting frustrated, but don't. You're going to see more of a run game, maybe some short plays to Evan Ingram to get him involved heading into the playoffs. But I think it's going to be a McLaughlin and Harvey type of game. And Bo Nix making a few plays throughout the game and not blowing this team out by any means and having Nix throw the ball 40 times. You're not going to see that. So it's going to be more of a run pass balance, maybe favoring the run a little bit, 60-40 in this game, in my opinion.
There you go. The one other one I wanted to bring up, and by the way, Pearl's coming in and says, I totally agree, Kenny. It will be a close game in her opinion as well. A gentleman's name that was brought up by Sean Payton. Adam Troutman needs 5 receptions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 receptions in order to hit his incentives. And the coach brought it up. Is that a smokescreen? And does Adam Troutman get his 5 catches for his bonus this game? That's a lot of catches. Broncos, he said. I think by the way, he joked. He said that's usually about his average for the year. So
yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot for 5 receptions is a decent amount for a wide receiver. Adam Troutman, a blocking tight end, that's a lot. I think more of a smokescreen, unless you see the blowout in the fourth quarter and he needs 2 catches. I don't see them. I don't see them force feeding Adam Troutman in a close game, which I think it's still going to be.
Yeah, you've mentioned that, man. Close game by Kenny Kirkpatrick. We're going to get here probably to a predictions here. Might just call this a quick show, Kenny. Get a pregame in, allow you to wake up, get your stretches in, get your juice ready, just in case for the show. But yeah, I agree, Kenny. I don't, maybe they try to get a couple to him really early, to give that opportunity, like you said, so that he could get 5 as it is late. But if he doesn't get a couple early, then I don't think that you're getting it to Adam Troutman and trying to force feed him all game so he can get 5 receptions. Like you said, this game means way too much than the incentive that Adam Troutman. Heck, somebody else could probably pick up that tab for him. It's $250,000 bonus. But hey, to a guy who doesn't make a ton of money to hit that, that's pretty big, pretty huge. So, Kenny, What other storylines before we start talking about predictions are you thinking about around this game? Obviously, like I said, big game. We're not going to get the help we need in order to walk in here and not need a win. I don't know if I'd want to walk out of here with a loss as it is anyway. But big game, number one seed. I mean, a lot of pressure on a lot of weight on the shoulders of some of these Broncos players who haven't had this. Well, most of them haven't had this level of intensity to walk in here and try to play for something like this. So, what are your thoughts around this game, the storylines, and then I'll hit the comments. So,
My storyline is don't make it a storyline in Denver papers tomorrow, and don't let Trey Lance be the first round draft pick that he was for the San Francisco 49ers before he got hurt. Don't let him be that quarterback out of North Dakota State when he came out in the draft. Don't let him be that first round guy, because he's getting his chance here. He's got a 1-game audition. If he comes out, don't let that be a headline in tomorrow's Denver papers, and don't let it be talked about on all the talk shows tomorrow. And the juice, which is coming back Tuesday. Don't let me talk about it on Tuesday. Don't let Trey Lance be the headline. Denver defense needs to be the headline. That's been the strength of the team all year. I want to see the defense have momentum going into the playoffs. They've been average the last couple games. They haven't been their elite at the elite level. You got a backup quarterback in today. Be an elite defense. Don't let Trey Lance get you today. That's my headline. That's not going to be a headline. It's going to be a Denver headline. Broncos six sacks, 2 interceptions. Go all out today, Broncos. Get that momentum into the playoffs.
I love it. I love it. You know how much I love it. That's why I don't like this close game. Kenny, since the juice is coming back, this is what I want. I want Chargers on the smoked. I want Harbaugh on the smoked. I want Trey Lance on the smoked. I want to see the Chargers represented in some way on the smoked segment on the juice tomorrow on Tuesday. We need that. That's the type of game that we should be able to have versus this team. We need to go out there, prove ourselves, and more than anything, prove to ourselves that's who we are. Big games down the stretch. They don't get any easier. If you can't get it done against what's going to be possibly one of the lowest seeds in the AFC versus the Chargers in the regular season, then don't expect to go out there and try to get it done in the playoffs as well. When they got all their healthy starters back, you need to go out there. You need to take care of business, put it away early. Fine. Have Jarrett Stidham finish the game. I'm perfectly fine with that. But put it away to a point where Jarrett Stidham is out there finishing the game. That's my expectations. Maybe it's not as close because of that. That's the only reason I don't want this game to be close, is because we have backups in, and all of a sudden the Chargers get into it a little bit late and, don't make it scary, but, make it look like it was more of a matchup than it ever was. That's the only thing I want. That's the only time I want that to be even a question. Need to go out there and need to get it done.
Martin just nailed it. Win and stay healthy in his latest comment. Win and stay healthy. Everything else is gravy. We are what we are. I'm done apologizing for it. You exactly nailed it. You are what you are. You win close games. Good teams, great teams find ways to win. And that's been the Broncos all year long. And defense wins championships. That's what's going to win the game today. Turnovers. Get a bold prediction in again. We're going to try and hit one. We'll see what we can do, but it's going to be, don't get discouraged, because this is your Bronco team. You win close games, and good teams find those ways to win.
That's true, Kenny. That's true, man. I like your bold prediction. Then are you going to your 6 sacks, 2 interceptions? Is that your bold prediction for the game?
My original one, unfortunately, was a hot take Thursday earlier in the year, and John Franklin Myers was going to have double-digit sacks, but unfortunately, he's out. So my
Yeah.
prediction was going to be John Franklin Myers. My prediction is going to be a crazy one. It's
Okay.
going to be his replacement, Jonah Ellis. Not only getting a fumble, I'm going bold because if this hits, we're going to be YouTube famous. I'm going bold. Jonah Ellis, sometime in this game, will get a fumble recovery for a touchdown.
Boom. Boom, says Kenny Kirkpatrick. Man, I
Boom.
like it,
Let's
man,
go.
because Jonah Ellis has been one of those guys that's been out there and kind of showing a little bit of something as of lately. Kenny's got his eye on the Denver Broncos. He's got his eye on Jonah Ellis, and he's got an eye on a defensive touchdown
Not just
by
a fumble
Jonah Ellis.
recovery. We're going to get the touchdown on the trade.
I love
On a fumble recovery. I'm not going to say Trey Lance, or maybe the Trey Lance, maybe the running back. He's going to pick up a fumble in deep in Charger territory, and get the strip. Not get the strip. Get the fumble recovery for a touchdown. Let's go, Jonah Ellis.
I
Put
love
yourself on the map today, Jonah, and be the guy for that the Broncos drafted last year, 2 years ago.
There you go. I'm gonna go a different route. I'm gonna go with Bo Nix. He's gonna have 220 plus yards and 2+ touchdowns. You know why, Kenny? Because then he hits 3,000 yards. He hits 30 touchdowns. And you pair that up with another 5 rushing touchdowns that he's put on the board. He's in elite company among like 6 guys that's ever done it. Ever. 3,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, 5 rushing. He needs 220 yards. He needs 2 touchdowns today. So I know it's not an incentive, but I'm looking for it, Kenny. I'm looking for it, and I think that Bo Nix will be looking for it too. He wants to be up there. By the way, if he shows over, if he throws for like 250 yards, I think it is, and 2 touchdowns, then he'll like catch up to Jake Plummer's one of his best seasons. So again, just putting numbers out there. Like I said, I expect big things from Bo Nix. I expect a lot more than 220, but 2 touchdowns I think is pretty respectable. Not super hot take, man. Just win convincingly, says Miss Pearl. Miss Pearl is a fantastic supporter of the Denver Broncos, a fantastic supporter of us. I'll just do a quick plug right now. Check out Morgan Trinkets. They've been doing Southwest Jewelry, Southwest Pottery, Estate Gold for over 35 years. You can check them out at Morgan Trinkets Co. over on Etsy. That's Morgan Trinkets Co. Or you can type in Pearl Heat. That's Pearl Heat over on eBay. Check out everything. Like I said, Southwest Jewelry, Southwest Pottery, and Estate Gold at wholesale prices. Morgan Trinkets is the way to go. Kenny just wants to win. Pearl just wants to win convincingly. I think that's a great call right now to maybe get predictions in from everybody. Broncos country, it's right around the corner. This big Week 18 game. Going for the number 1 seed up against an AFC West rival. One that would love to play spoiler. One that would love to even do it more with backups. Kenny's been calling for a close game, so I want to see what this looks like when he gets his prediction in here. I think it's going to be more of a step on your throat type of game by the Denver Broncos on these Chargers. So you'll get my prediction here in a second. Well, we want to get yours as well. Get him in the comments. I'll let Kenny kind of ramble and get his prediction in right here on how he feels about this game.
I think it's going to be a slow starting game. Like I said, Broncos back. Broncos are facing a lot of the Chargers backups. I don't want Trey Lance is got to keep him rusty. No restoration projects today. Don't fix the rust. Let him be that bust of a quarterback he was. I think it's going to be a lot of running from the Chargers. So they're going to try and run the ball. They're gonna try to make Trey Lance, one-dimensional. Make Trey Lance one-dimensional. Force him to throw the ball, and force him to make a couple mistakes, couple turnovers from the defense from the Broncos. My bold prediction: Jonah Ellis getting a touchdown for the defense. Again, going to be a slow game. Got a lot of time, consuming drives from both sides. You're not going to see much from the Broncos if they don't have to. Lower scoring game. On the offensive side of the ball, Bo Nick's going to make those few plays. Pat Bryant's back, like you said. Adam Troutman looking for his incentive. Get Evan Ingram involved a little bit. Don't force it to Troutman. If he gets those 5 receptions, hats off to you. Good for you. But run ball if you're the Broncos. Play defense. That being said, with the defensive touchdown, I'm going to say Bo Nix gets 2 touchdowns as well in the air and a field goal by Will Lutz. So I'm going to go 24 for the Broncos. I do think the Chargers will score. They're still going to play defense. They're going to bring a defense no matter who is on that field. Jesse Minter's looking for a head coaching job. He's going to bring it. I'm going to say the Chargers score a little bit. I'm going to say 17 for the Chargers. So 24-17. I say close, but one of those close games where you're still not scared that the Broncos are going to lose this game. It's going to be a convincing 24-17, and just the Broncos keep it more vanilla, holding it for the playoffs. Don't open up the playbook today.
I see it. It very well could be vanilla, Kenny. I understand where you're coming from, man. There's only so much you want to put on tape. You want to try to hold something back if you possibly can, especially in these final weeks. If you got, a player or two that's been riding at the bottom of that big menu that Sean Payton has, let's let it ride one more week if we can. Let's bust that out in the playoffs. But even with a vanilla type of performance, I don't think the Denver Broncos are going to go out there and I should say a vanilla offense. They won't put out a vanilla performance. That's where I'm at.
That's a good point. Not a vanilla performance, just a vanilla game plan. Let's just say.
Correct. But I think they're going to take this vanilla-esque game plan. I think there'll be a few wrinkles in there. There always are. But I think they're going to go out there and they're going to execute. They're going to execute highly. I like what Alex Forsythe did as center and got the game ball last week. I think they're going to be able to open up holes, get north and south, start gutting the middle of this Chargers defense. And if they start doing that, then everything opens up. The play action pass, the bootleg. I think that this could get out of hand pretty quick. Maybe just like Graham thinks it's going to get out of hand pretty quick. He's coming in here. Graham, good to see you. My good friend from the north coming in here, leading the charge right in here for Broncos country to come out with a victory. His prediction 38-17. He also says we'll see Stidham sometime in the fourth quarter. I like that. Mile High Dutchie coming in here, our good friend coming in, Mr. Albert Knopper I say 38-6 for the Broncos. And Happy New Year,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, my friend. I forgot to wish everybody a Happy New Year because I'm kind of like Sean Payton. I dang near almost forgot about it. I've been so dang crazy. Maybe crazy about this Broncos team and what they've been doing all year, and what they're about ready to do this game here in just about a half an hour. My prediction is probably closer to Graham and closer to Albert than it is to Kenny. I think they go out there and I think they dominate and they put some points up early. And I don't think it's a slow start. I think it's a fast start, Kenny. I want to see all this. Maybe I'm just trying to put it out there in the universe for it to happen. I'm going with a 31-16 victory for the Denver Broncos, man. I want them to take care of business and take care of it well. And maybe that means they're I don't know, given a little bit of bad media for piling it on at some point. I don't know, but I don't care. The Broncos need to go out there and they need to prove something. they go out there and they prove it today 31-16, and get ready to be hosting playoff games throughout the Super Bowl run. That's what we need, bro. That's what we need, Kenny. That's what we need this afternoon.
Absolutely, Keith. And I think no matter what our scores are, I think we're all in agreement that the Broncos do come away with a victory today.
Mm-hmm.
I just haven't seen that blowout yet this year. That's why I'm putting it out there, Sean, putting you on the spot. Go blow out a team today, maybe, and prove me wrong. But it's just been the Broncos' nature this year to play close games and find every which way to win. And good teams find those ways to win, and bad teams find ways to lose. So Trey Lance has, not going to call him a loser, but he hasn't had that many opportunities since being hurt when he got drafted, and Brock Purdy never looked back. But,
yeah,
he's going to come out and try, and he's going to try and make some plays and, put it on his resume for maybe his future team. So let him maybe audition for the UFL or the USFL, I should say. So be that Bronco defense we've seen all year. But I just want to see, the defense show up today, and I expect them to, Keith. I don't want to see, an average defense. I want to see the number one defense today.
I like it, Kenny. We do need to see that number one defense. Like I said, love to be calling some Nick Bonito, some Zach Allen, some Jonathan Cooper names. And as for Kenny's sake, hopefully I'm screaming out what a Jonah Ellis touchdown as well. So Martin putting words in my mouth better than I can. I'm trying to will it into existence. And he says, he's with me. I appreciate it. Pearl has that close game that you were talking about. She was talking about it as well. She's just calling it a nice, easy, clean score, 14-10. That's a nail biter. Pearl, you're going to have me on the edge of my seat if you're doing that to me. Hopefully the Denver Broncos don't do that to me. Don't do it to you. I want to be on my side of things, 31-16. But I'm always on the side of the posse, man. Appreciate the posse coming in here, rocking a pregame show. We will be on right after the game. So you need to make sure, don't forget, maybe hit that reminder, like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. But be here right after the game so that we can party together about this number one seed that we're going to be locking up. I feel it, Broncos country. I know that you feel it too. We just need to believe, right? So, Kenny, what else we got to get? Any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Yeah, I just happened to stumble upon the Denver weather forecast. 68 degrees right now in Denver. I mean, am I looking at this right? Are we doing this show in August, Keith? Is this a Back to the Future episode, or is it 68 in Denver? But the weather's going to be no factor today, so the Chargers luck out there. But I'm expecting playoffs to run through Denver, and the weather will become a factor in the playoffs. So it's coming. So you get that run game working today, Denver, heading into the playoffs. I want to see that on the offensive side of the ball. And, let's see McLaughlin step up and be the 1A to RJ Harvey. That's what we need to see. But great pregame show. Glad I made it. I was not watching the Giants game, although I have it tuned in here, and you're doing pretty good, and we'll talk about that on Tuesday as well. A lot to talk about on Tuesday's show, The Juice, but we'll be back for the post game. Can't wait to see everybody with a hope for a celebration as we get that number one seed for the Broncos, which means, more importantly, home field advantage through the playoffs and a much-needed week off for the injured players like Dre Greenlaw, John Franklin Myers, to get an extra week off of rest to get them all healthy heading into their first round matchup. So get that win today at all costs. Let's go get it, Broncos. And, salute to you all. And we'll see everybody after the game, directly after the game.
Right after the game, man. We'll be on here. Maybe we'll even get in here early if it's going to be getting a blowout so we can party all together at the very end. Broncos country, it's a big game. Broncos are ready for this game. Coaches are ready. Sean said that he doesn't like the way they played this team. coached against this team for the last 3 games. A lot of incentive, a lot of motivation on the line. I expect it to be all laid out there for a victory. And after that victory, like we said, come back in here, celebrate with us. We're going to have that post game. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. It's going to be a little bit of a party if we get that number 1 seed. But we got to get out of here, let you guys all get prepared for the game. A great one. And Broncos country, just remember, they can hear you through the TV. I know they can. I feel it in my heart. It's going to be loud there on Broncos country. Go ahead and join them around the television as well. Join us right after the game. But like always, we're going to get out of here with our boots in the stirrups, guns in the holsters, and, of course, Denver Broncos in your heart. Until right after the game, we're out of here. Mile High Salute.